welcome to my channel. It's time for another installment of the Full Deck Challenge 4 being hosted by Shinuki Art. I'll leave a link to her introductory video in the description box. And we are up to week 27. And our prompts are round specimen window, tab, color swatch, and numbers. And I'm going to start by doing a color swatch on some book page that we are then going to glue onto our card. And I've got out my Daniel Smith watercolors, and I'm feeling the purples and the pinky colors, so that's what we're gonna go with. I like to, when I do color swatching like this, stamp some flowers on. So I've grabbed a couple flower stamps by Creative Expressions, and they're from Meadow Beauty CEC 1031. And I'm gonna grab a block. And I'm grabbing Versafine Claire in Nocturne. There. Probably should have used my Misty so I could have stamped again, but it's okay. And that's gonna go on here like so. Let's go ahead and glue that down. And I'm gonna put glue on the card because I think the piece of paper is slightly larger. Too bad. I am gonna go die cut some stuff for creating our slide. So I will be back. Okay, I want to do a tab, so I've pulled out a scrap piece of watercolor paper, and we are just gonna drop the paints on that we use for our swatch. And first I'm gonna wet the paper. We're just gonna drop some paint on. Brush just to lift some of the excess color out. All right, now let's take our punch and punch out a tab. Gonna move this out of the way, which I use for watercolor painting on. And now we've got a tab, and I've already gone ahead and prepped my specimen slide. And what I did was I took a piece of coffee dyed paper, it was a scrap, folded it in half, realized, okay, it will fit on my playing card, and then used a circle die to die cut it, and I ran it through once, which got me it pretty much embossed and almost all the way through on this side, and then just ran it through unfolded to get this cut out all the way, and then ran it through lining it up where it had kind of like embossed the lines, and ran it through to get it completely die cut out. And I've got a piece of packaging to use as our window. And so I'm just gonna glue that in place, and then in our specimen window I'm gonna put a dragonfly washi sticker. So let's get our acetate inside. I'm going to use my Barely Art glue because it usually works a little bit better with things like acetate and vellum than art glitter glue. And I'm going to put it as far from the opening as possible, since definitely did not leave a lot of room for gluing. But I figure it should be okay because we're gonna glue the whole thing closed. Did not get glue on the sides very much at all. All right, before we glue it down the rest of the way, let's figure out, and I actually wanted to do it the other way because there's kind of smoosh on one side. So I wanted that to the back instead of the front. So we're just making a mess here, is what we're doing right now. And I'm getting glue all over the place. So now I have smoosh on the front. Grr, arg, it's not working as well as I would like. All right, if I want it lined up about there, I want to put my dragonfly, because I figured I'd line the dragonfly up kind of like, right, like that. So it looks like it's landing on the flower that we have on the background. All right, let's stick our washi sticker down. I'm probably going to regret not trimming more off because we're going to end up having all that white showing, aren't we? Let's see how well it does. Actually, it's doing pretty good disappearing. Not great, but pretty good. Not too bad. We've got that, and we're just gonna glue. Let's put a little glue in between the two. Close that down and then glue the whole thing shut. So I'm taking slight liberty with a round specimen slide in that I did a round hole in my specimen slide instead of doing the slide as round. I just wasn't sure how well I was going to be able to get that to fit on the paper or on the card. Probably should have inked inside there before I did this, but it is too late now. So I'm now, as I'm doing this, thinking of ways I could have done this better. I should have probably just put the acetate on the front and stuck the washi sticker directly on here and put the specimen slide over it, and then the sticker would have disappeared more. Do I have time to do that? Can I get that up off the acetate? Oh, 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 oh. Yeah. Yeah. Oh no, oh no, it's sticking to my finger and I ripped his wing. This is going to be a slightly battered specimen. Of course, now he blends in so much, I don't know that we're going to be able to see him very well. And I definitely am not getting him off of there. It's okay. Let's pull this out, cut it off. Okay, it's all right. I probably should have just left it alone, but it's too late now. All right, I want to do small rounding on the corners. Ink, let's grab, I'm gonna use some Positively Saturated Fawn. Give that a try. Now, it may come out a little bit darker because the stopper has scorched timber on it. wipe it off the window. I definitely think I want the tab going out the side like that. Let me grab something. I've grabbed my slot punch, and we're gonna punch little notches in our slide, like so. And a little grunge to that. All right, I need some stamps. Okay, I pulled out some stamps, and I'm gonna have to speed this up because the fireworks have started even though it's noon, and my dog's freaking out. So I've got Tracy Fox Creative Entomology Passport Elements CEC 1123, and I am gonna stamp some stuff on the label. I think I'm just gonna stamp Insecta and Terragota, which is the class and subclass for dragonflies, but she does not have the order for dragonflies on the stamp set. So we'll just stamp those. And I'll use Versifying Clair Black or Nocturne. I'll stamp those here. And then let's grab out of Crafty by Tony CBT0044 Notes. I'm gonna just stamp, does this have? Let's go with this guy. That did not stamp very well. I should have stamped it on something else first because brand new clear stamp. Kind of need to prime them by stamping them a couple times before you're gonna get a good image, but as we are now in the I have a stressed out dog and need to get this done phase of things, I'm not worried too much about it. And then I'm gonna stamp number 26 from that same set on the actual specimen slide in the bottom corner. Let's get this assembled. So now that we're just gluing paper, we can use our art glitter glue, no problem. And actually I want to glue the tab slightly under. Let's do a little ink around the edges, and I think I'm gonna just leave the raggedy edges and not trim it up. Kind of like that. And I think I'm gonna call it quits. And let's see if I can find a pen with ink in it. And we did all of them. So round, specimen window, tab, color swatch, and numbers. Let me give you a closer look. So that's all for today. If you enjoyed this video, please do all the things that lets YouTube know you enjoyed the video. Like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, leave me a comment down below. Thanks for joining me, and happy crafting!